Good morning. Welcome to Weaved Web Recovery. Today is Thursday, May 5th. I'm Ryan W. This is Bobby W. And we're going to kick things off with the Just for Today. I was ready to go to any lengths to stay clean. Basic text, page 132. Any lengths, newcomers ask. What do you mean, any lengths? Looking back at our active addiction and the lengths we were willing to go to in order to stay high can help to explain. Were we willing to drive many miles to get drugs? Yes, we usually were. Then it makes sense that if we were as concerned about staying clean as we were about using, we will try anything to find a ride to a meeting. In our addiction, didn't we often do crazy, insane things or use unknown substances at the direction of others?
Wow.
Then why do we often find it so hard to take direction in recovery, especially when the direction is designed to help us grow? And when we use, didn't we often in desperation turn to our higher power saying, please just get me out of this one? Then why do we find it so hard to ask for God's help in our recovery? When we used, we usually had an open mind when it came to finding ways and means to get more drugs. If we can apply this same principle of open-mindedness to our recovery, we may surprise ourselves by how easily we begin to grasp the NA program. Our best thinking, it is often said, got us into the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. If we're willing to go to any lengths, follow directions, and stay open-minded, we can stay clean. Just for today, I'm willing to go to any lengths to stay clean. I will become as open-minded and ready to take direction as I need be. Now read 24 Hours. AA thought for the day. I had to show off and boast so that people would think I amounted to something. When, of course, both they and I knew that I really didn't amount to anything. I didn't fool anybody. Although I've been sober for quite a while, the old habit of building myself up is still with me. I still have a tendency to think too well of myself and to pretend to be more than I really am. Am I always in danger of becoming conceited just because I'm sober? Meditation for the day. I cannot ascertain the spiritual with my intellect. I can only do it by my own faith and spiritual faculties. I must think of God more with my heart than with my head. I can breathe in God's very spirit in the life around me. I can keep my eyes turned toward the good things in the world. I am shut up in a box of space and time, but I can open a window in that box by faith. I can empty my mind of all the limitations of material things. I can sense the eternal. Prayer for the day. I pray that whatever is good I may have. I pray that I may leave to God the choice of what good will come to me. Today's 24 Hours. The forest and the trees. What comes to us alone may be garbled by our own rationalization and wishful thinking. The benefit of talking to another person is that we can get his direct comment and counsel on our situation. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 60. I cannot count the times when I have been angry and frustrated and said to myself, I can't see the forest for the trees. I finally realized that what I needed when I was in such pain was someone who could guide me in separating the forest and the trees. Who could suggest a better path to follow? Who could assist me in putting out fires and help me avoid the rocks and pitfalls? So, yeah, I think today's reading was a little bit like yesterday in how it affected me. I've somehow learned how to play my role, in building myself up, trying to be someone you're not. I think that's all goes hand in hand for me.
Yeah.
But now, I have a paycheck, I have a car,
Paycheck.
I have, a lifestyle, but it's the lifestyle that's been given to me. And so I have to live it. I can't make it better. I can definitely make it worse than it is. But right now, making it better is making the most of it. You deal with what you have. And so I think I remember a time in my life when I would portray myself as more than I have, or better than I am, or better than you. And that's just not the way to live. So somehow I snapped out of that and trying to live a humble life and just do the best I can with what I have. That's about it. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk.
I'm gonna ask you to read the question that you read yesterday, along
Sure.
with the question that's in here today, right?
Okay.
And so, with that being said, as you begin to read, I'm thinking about direction.
Okay.
You know, so go ahead.
So yesterday's question was, do I still build myself up?
Mm-hmm.
And today's question is, am I always in danger of becoming conceited just because I'm sober?
Wow. So I want to talk about direction, right? Follow the directions, right? And they talk about the steps, the 12 steps in AA, NA, or whatever A there is, right? But how about there are steps in life, right? How about there are steps to building a platform? There are steps to building a table, a TV stand, right? If we follow the instructions, the manual, right? And I wrote this down, right, Brian? So I'm saying follow the directions, right? The word direct.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got directions. The man said directly from his mouth to yours, right? And you have to sit there and listen to what he's saying so that you can know what he's saying, as opposed to putting it together yourself. So I always think about this when I talk to someone. I think about the TV stand that I bought and the TV stand that my friend bought. The very same thing, right? And there are instructions, manuals inside there. And so what the manual is, I read it and I put it together the way it says, And he put it together the way it says, almost. And so 2 weeks later, his stand is leaning, mine is straight. So I wonder why. I said, let me see your directions. And I go to see his directions, and he still got some of the screws still in the pack. Because he didn't follow the directions.
Right.
So here it is. You got a job now. You're following the directions of life the way it's supposed to be. So you're reaping the benefits of the directions. So when we follow the directions that's laid before us. If that make any sense to you,
Yeah,
right?
that's a
So I
good
want to say it
analogy.
towards the thing about following directions, right? Doing things the way it's supposed to be done, right? If we allow the right thing to come our way and we follow that, when someone that's been using, drinking, whatever it was went before you and they stopped and they followed the directions and they told you how to do it, and you wonder why they're getting what they get, and you wonder why they work, and you wonder why their family coming back, you wonder why these things are happening to them, because they're following those who went before them, the direction of how did you get here this morning. You had to follow the directions, right? I just want to keep that real simple, right? So it ain't really much I wanted to say about anything other than the fact that yesterday showed us how we was being built up. Not to do it the wrong way, to be conceited. Now, how are we still walking in that direction? Are we still walking in the way I think it's about me? It's all about me. It's me, me, me. What about me? What about me? So if I take that out the equation, what about me? What about you? If I be considerate towards others. This morning I had a little saying to a friend that we sleep in the same room, and he woke up mad, and and I was like, there you go. How am I going to communicate with him to get him to understand I'm being considerate to you, because I'm thinking about how mad he is when he woke up.
Right.
How do I approach him? So I had to be considerate, as opposed to going to him, man, who is you talking to? Muhammad, how you doing? I need to speak to you. I want to say to you, I apologize that if anything I've done made you mad. So I had to follow the directions that went before me of how to create a good atmosphere.
Right.
If that make any sense to you, Ron. So I
Yeah.
wanted to say something about things that are a little more touchy this morning, right? You know, so we can see that if we follow the directions, like sometimes it's some trouble in that way. How do I get out of it? So I just wanted to be simple this morning, Ron.
There you go.
Thank you for letting me share.
All right, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon.